Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Kedron Banks, and I actually got a chance to do my internship here in Weatherford. I named my title Keys to Unlock in a sense, for an athlete to be able to build up to their potential, to be able to maximize their full strength. There's a couple key things that I feel like that they will have to know themselves to unlock for them to be the best athlete as possible. So I got a chance to do my internship at Southwestern Oklahoma State in the weight room department. And the supervisor himself, who's also the head strength and conditioning coach, is Coach Jackson, Jared Jackson. He's an alumni himself at Northwestern Oklahoma State, to where he actually received his degree in exercise science. He came here to Southwestern in 2013 as he was the assistant and became the head strength and conditioning coach in 2014, to which that's the year that I came in. When I first got here, actually SWASU had 25 feet square foot weight room, very small, turf, and only 8 racks. In 2014, it was rebuilt all the way over. Over $350,000 was put in to the building, donated by a lot of SWASU alumni itself, for us to get a better weight room. It's actually one of the top D2 schools weight room in Oklahoma right now. In it we have over 12 new racks that implemented in the ground powerlifting boards, and also brand new rubber bumper plates. So in my internship, I had the responsibilities of 3. One of them was a worker, and with me being a worker, I had the duties of cleaning, checking attendance, counting inventory, and setting up drills. Now, in the work part of it, checking attendance, we just started all sports strength conditioning this summer, June 6th. So checking attendance was important for football aspect. I am a football player going into my last senior year, and we check attendance as far as who's been consistently coming, who hasn't, who's been missing, and who's been injured. Also, I got the chance to be an assistant coach, and in this area, I was able to coach in small groups. And in these small groups, I was able to take people through drills, also take them through a running phase, and I was also had to be a demonstrator to a lot of these new techniques or new lifts or new runs that Coach Jackson introduced to us ourselves. I got a chance to ask any uncertain questions. This was actually very difficult, as to which, don't know everything myself. I'm still, student athlete, but this taught me actually a lot. I had to do more work outside of the workforce itself, just to not get hit with questions to which I didn't understand. I didn't like that. I had a chance to correct technique if needed, and most of the times, a lot of guys had back issues from deadlift, in the sense on they would start over and have a cat hamel back as they were coming up. Well, I had to fix that in the sense on it's like you have to sit down in a seat and come up to throw your hips through instead of your back. A lot of people need to know with deadlift is more on your legs and your trunk, not your thoracic spine. I also got a chance to get put to the test to come up with small workouts for individuals. We had some individuals go down this year as far as hamstring work, upper body, and etc. Got a chance to actually get a small workout for a guy who kind of tweaked his pectoral muscle. Got a chance to evaluate him, and he's actually having an imbalance issue. So I had him do a lot of isolation movement. With that isolation movement, it comes with actually getting, which was his left pec, stronger by isolating that one. When you're actually lifting with two, trying to do therapy, you're actually compensating, and you actually have a chance to hurt the other pectoral muscle. All this wouldn't have come into effect if I didn't be an athlete first. This played a role into when we came and we sat down trying to discuss workouts that we should do and running we should do. Well, this played a role in the sense on how hard it would be or what I would do. So I had to consistently stay on a dieting just to improve on myself and see results. So I had to do it in MyFitnessPal. Also in my responsibilities of this, I had to keep track of my weight every day. So we were forced to weigh in every time before we worked out and before we worked out, just to see how much water we lost. And that's how much we had to retain after we got done. I had to pay attention to the growth and also focus on my weaknesses. And as I focused on my weaknesses, I had to find ways to improve on them also. This actually helped and gave me an advantage of trying to come up with small workouts for other individuals, depending on if I had the same type of injury as them or not. And staying hydrated is a very big deal as an athlete. For me to see the results, I had to stay hydrated. Weight fluctuates for me a lot. I actually got the chance to notice that water weight can fluctuate between 5 to 7 pounds. So anybody that feels as if in a sense you're losing weight out of nowhere, it's probably water weight you just lost, if we're speaking from an athlete standpoint. So in my special project for this internship, it was to create videos and also being able to create a strength conditioning phases and 3 phases of working out, to which what we went through as a football team ourselves. That was also, in a sense, my project. In most part, you'll notice that more injuries tend to occur in the lower half of the body. Most of this has to do with the lack of flexibility and mobility. This will actually get to my point of my main philosophy. My philosophy is the thinking is the 2 key things you need is flexibility and mobility, be able to access full potential strength of your body to be able to perform on the court, on the baseball field, on the football field. You need to be able to have those 2 things. Mobility focuses on the range of motion in your joints, being able to move back here, that's range of motion. In the sense of flexibility, that's more of lack and strengthening in muscles, being able to, that actually gets you to be more coordinated. So muscles in the sense of stretching, being able to reach your leg out here instead of stopping right here. That's not flexibility. So prior to me coming to my internship, what I didn't know is that every athlete is different. And since I knew that in weight-wise, but it also makes sense as far as how you train that athlete. You can't put a big guy through the same thing as you would for a small skilled guy. So also I found out all weight plays a different role in training. So when it comes to strength training and trying to create strength and power, heavier weight is in a sense on what you want to do, which is called hypertrophy nowadays. But smaller weight has to do with more acceleration, speed, the force that you put into what you're going into engagement to. And that's when modifying comes into play. So when modifying comes into play, this is what shows the differences. From a bigger skill, they're going to use more of a heavier, in a bigger skill, they're heavier, which means that they're going to use more energy. From a skilled guy, we're more of a lightweight, so we use less energy. Now take an example in the sense of going 10 yards. For a lighter guy, he's going to get there a lot faster, so he's going to use less energy. From a guy who's bigger, who's not going to get there as fast, he's using more energy just because of his weight. So for bigger skill guys to get more faster, you do more short bursts with them, depending on what it is in sports. So in football, we have O linemen, D linemen who do a lot of quick burst starts. As you know, they're real up close together. They only go so far. in the sense of a smaller skill, faster acceleration and quickness. So with the skill guy, in the sense of me, we need to be able to run for long periods of time. So an example of a skill guy running it, we do more of 60 yards to 100 yards just to be able to maintain full speed in what we're doing. So this leads me to like dream opportunities. I got 1 year left here at SWASU, to which I'll be getting my master's in sports management. As I get out into the workforce, I tend to attend Parker University for chiropractic school. As in a sense, up on the PowerPoint, you'll see that I'm doing this in a sense on trying to be on the road to being a performance specialist, to which these 3 places offer the most. EXOFs, to which there are some in Texas, Oklahoma, and the main headquarters in Arizona. You got Michael Johnson Performance, who are only located in Texas and Florida. And you have also a place called Proactive. These 3 places have a lot of highly trained class athletes, to which that's in the field that I want to get into. Being able to diagnose them with what they have as far as an injury, but at the same time, being able to put them through training sessions. Now, I found out coming along that PT itself, or an assistant PT, PTA, they can't really diagnose you. That's the whole point of me going to chiropractic school, to get a doctor's degree. On top of me being exercise science, on top of me having my bachelor's in exercise science, I'll be able to go into football or a strength and conditioning program, trying to get the best of both worlds. So if there's anything that I would express or give more insight to others coming in this, you have to be able to be confident in yourself. You have to be able to be very good and strong at your public speaking. Nobody wants anybody quiet in this vicinity. I actually figured that out. You gotta be able to stand with authority and tell people in a sense of that. Not give them demands, but also be able to help them. They have to know that you're there. It's not a quiet environment in the sense of anybody want to be in. You also have to be ready for challenges. I say that in the sense of, as I get older and I get into this more, my whole goal is to stay fit. I want to be able to actually still show athletes that I can still do it as I show them. Nowadays, the more athletes that a coach can show, I feel like the more that they respect that coach. So the more of an athlete that you still are, which is a challenge in myself, which also why I feel like I'm going to enjoy being in this background, is because of that reason. If anything, it's a longevity as far as health, as far as me being active and proactive to what I'm trying to do. And that excludes my PowerPoint and my internship.